Hello and welcome to today's first official instructional lesson. In this great big world of ours, it's often hard to know where you stand physically and socially. Throughout the decades of humanity's social development, banter has transformed from being a rich man's playground to being a necessary portion of everyday conversation. I myself struggled with creating meaningful and lasting conversations until I learned how to master the art of banter. Today, I would like to share with you my method for conversation throughout a simple presentation. Now, if you will excuse me whilst I set up. 1 second. Welcome to Competitive Conversation, a comparative guide on the creation of insults. A good way of crafting a perfect insult that really strikes your opponent is by using the classic, and my personal favorite, your, followed by either, depending on the situation of course, face or mom. This insult works great because you are taking what the other person said and throwing it back in their face, and leaving them to mellow in their foolishness. Let us try an example. Austin, everyone say hi to Austin. Yes, hi Austin. Austin, if you would please say a phrase. Wow, that's beautiful. Your mom's beautiful. So as you can see, he fell for my trap and was inadvertently led into believing that his mother is beautiful, when in fact. Insinuations. Another good starting point for beginning insulters is the ability to craftily insinuate some insidious thing that your opponent would be ashamed if others knew. This tactic has been used by some of the most best insulters of all time, such as Beethoven and Oscar Wilde. I will now demonstrate how to perfectly insinuate something that Austin might not want the audience to know. I bet you like garbage on that pizza, huh? As you can see, I perfectly insinuated the secret that Austin has been trying to hide for several years. Austin is in fact a raccoon. Habitats. Raccoons are actually nocturnal creatures that can live pretty much anywhere humans can live. Being mammals, they are warm-blooded, and akin to the fox, are known for living in North American forests. But these little rascals are also known to wander the suburban areas of our precious country. Eating habits. Raccoons are omnivores, which means that they have an infinite awareness and are thus often the narrators of books that include the third person. Raccoons eat pretty much everything they can get their hands on, but just as was told me before that fateful day in 2005, it tastes better if it's illegal. This, however, does not mean that a raccoon would in fact eat your mom. The Swedish. As is common knowledge, since the creation of Sweden, flag pictured, neutrality has been strictly enforced upon the Swedish upon pain of death. By calling your opponent Swedish or insinuating that they are in fact of Swedish descent, will immediately cause them to seize on and remember that oath they once took way back in 2005. This can be useful in causing your opponent to relinquish a physical path of destruction, leaving them wide open for a killing blow of your mom. A further way of causing their Swedish tendencies to come out is by speaking the native Swede tongue, also known as Turkish. This causes them to be wary of you, as you could be repeating for the Swede government, making them retain their oath of neutrality. Austin, if you would please join me back out here. Yes, hi Austin. Austin, if you would please try to physically harm me, and I will combat you with my knowledge of Swedish. Hola, señor. Baño, por favor. As you can see, I easily and deftly dissuaded him from attacking me by making him retain his oath and leading him to believe that I, in fact, work for the Swedish government. Conclusion. Raccoons are amazing little creatures that have made their way into many people's hearts. However, due to an overwhelming amount of poachers, raccoons, like our good friend Austin, have slowly had to adapt and become something that is not becoming of them. Fortunately, there are services like Save the Raccoon Foundation, which goes into raccoon habitats and safely and humanely severs the ivory horn that poachers covet so deeply. This is just one way that raccoons are being saved all around western Nashville. However, Like 2005, all things must come to an end. Thus, my presentation has come to an end. Thank you for having me. If you would please clap for everyone involved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.